What's going on, gamers? Today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 things that I wish I knew sooner when I started playing Valorant, all of which would have helped me rank up quickly instead of wasting my time being hard stuff. With that being said, let's get right into it. The first thing I wish I knew when I started out is that movement is more important than aim. Let me explain. In Valorant, you cannot be moving and shooting, period. So this means you need to stop right before you shoot your weapon. Now, this can be done in 3 different ways. Number 1, you can be moving in one direction, let go of all the movement keys and shoot. Number 2, you can be moving in one direction, let go of that movement key, tap the other movement key and then shoot. And number 3, you can let go of all of your movement keys and crouch spray. Now, all of these methods do work. However, if you get your timing off, it doesn't matter how good your aim is, your shot is not going to hit. It's really that simple. So you can practice your aim all day and never miss your shots, having your crosshair always placed on the target and still lose the gunfight. I wasted so much time practicing my aim and I didn't even realize it wasn't my aim that was the problem, it was my movement. And as soon as I got my timing down and figured out how to actually be accurate in game, I started winning way more gunfights and ranked up much faster. The best way that I found to work on this is to go into your settings and go over to video settings. Once you're there, scroll all the way down until you find the movement error graph. Turn that on. Now, once you've done this, you need to go into the practice range. And also make sure that you have some sort of recording software on, like OBS or anything that can record your gameplay. What you need to do once that's all set up is spawn 100 bots. From here, you want to move around and practice stopping your movement and shooting. Do this for all 100 bots and then go back and spawn 30 bots either on medium or hard. While doing this, you want to strafe side to side and shoot them. Once you're done this, look back over your recording and see how many times in the graph you see a blue line come up. When that blue line comes up, it means you were moving and shooting, and that's why you were inaccurate. The goal here is to do this until you get to the point where you never see that blue line come up, or if you do, it's very, very rare. In order for you to improve at this as fast as possible, practice in the range every day for 5 to 10 minutes, moving and shooting by spawning the 100 bots and going around doing that, and also spawning medium or hard bots and strafing side to side while shooting them. And when you go into deathmatch, you should be doing the same thing. Make sure that your agent is constantly moving, and when you go to shoot, you're stopping that movement to make sure you have perfect accuracy. From here on out, always keep this graph on. That way, when you're in game and you die, you can look up and see if you missed your shot or if it was just your movement that was off. If you do this over time, you're going to begin to rapidly improve your movement, start landing more shots, and rank up much faster. Now, if you notice that your movement is good and you're not seeing those blue lines after you die, and you're still missing your shots, then run some aim labs or KovaaKs, or you can go ahead and check out my in-game aim routine, which will be linked right up here, and practice your raw aim instead. I'll also leave some good aim routines in the description below, so you can go ahead and check those out. The second thing that I wish I started doing sooner was learning to play more than just one role. Now, I know this goes against what everybody else is telling you, but I stand by it. The reason I say this is because in lower ranks, everyone only knows how to play one role. And guess what that role is? Duelist. Wow, shocker. And the problem with that is, if you all try to insta-lock right away and you miss it and you get 3 duelists off the bat, you're either going to have to fill a role that you have no idea how to play and aren't comfortable on, or you're going to have to go duelist and have a terrible team comp, making it not only harder to win the game, but also harder for you to learn the game and grow as a player overall. A lot of people complain about how shit their teammates are, but I want you to think about this. If you're insta-locking duelist and your shitty teammates have to fill a role that they don't know how to play, then he's going to play even worse than he already would, not fill the role properly, and make it 1,000 times harder for you to win. So instead of relying on your teammates to do the heavy lifting, learn one agent for 3 different roles. I would say a controller agent is a must because no one likes to play smokes, then an initiator because you can hard carry on that, and whatever other role you want to play, most likely duelist. This way, whenever you queue in, you have the ability to fill without being lost on the agent or role that you have to play. This will, number 1, allow you to take control of the game and give you a better chance of winning by letting your teammates play a role they're comfortable on instead of being lost and throwing the game. And number 2, it's going to allow you to be a much more versatile player, learning the game faster, improving faster, and being able to adapt and carry into the much higher ranks. Because let me tell you this, if you're gold and above and you can only play one role, you are awful at the game and you are boosted. In no world should you be in middle to high elo and not be able to play multiple different agents. It would be pathetic. Now, you don't need to be able to play all of the agents, but one agent for 3 roles is good enough until you get really good good and hit high elo, then being able to play a multitude of agents is going to become much easier for you because you understand the game more and you're just overall much better. A good easy agent to learn for the controller role would be Brimstone or Omen, as they are very easy to play and they're good on every single map. A good initiator would be Sova, Fade, or Sky, and duelists would be Phoenix, Jet, or Reyna. All of these agents have a very low skill floor and a very high skill ceiling, which means that you can pick them up and play them well pretty easily, and over time, if you keep playing them, you can become very good at them. But quickly, before I give you the last tip that's going to help you rank up faster and become a much better overall player in record time, what is your favorite pro Valorant team? Mine's 100 Thieves. Let me know in the comments down below. The last thing that I wish I learned and improved at sooner was callouts. Callouts are a very important part of playing any FPS game, but especially in a tactical shooter where every single piece of information and second counts. Knowing the correct callouts for places will not only allow you to help your teammates when they're in sticky situations, but it will also allow you to win rounds and fights you may not have when someone gives you a callout and you're not 100% sure what they mean by it. A good way for you to learn the callouts is to go into your settings and go to general settings. Scroll down until you see map region names. You want to make sure that this is always on. What you can do to save time is every single time that you die, open up your map and start studying the names of different areas and actively call out things when you were dead. So if you die and don't know where you died from, open up the map, find out where it was, and call it out to your team. If you do this over time, you'll quickly begin to learn the map and the different callouts that are on it, which will help you become a much better team player and overall clutch legend as well. Keep in mind, if you want, you can also go into a custom game and open up the map and study the callouts there as well, if you have the time and you feel like doing it. But if not, then actively doing it in game should be good enough. Another thing you need to keep in mind is you shouldn't be calling out everything. The main things that you need to be communicating with your team are, when you're alive, you can say where you saw someone or multiple people, let your team know if you hit someone, let them know if they're holding an angle with an op, or what weapons they might have. Also, if there's any utility holding somewhere like a trip or a turret, what utility the enemy team has used and what utility that you are using. And also if you noticed any patterns in the enemy's playstyle that you can exploit this round or the next. And when you die, you should only be saying where you died from, how much you hit the enemy for, where you saw them last, only if it's going to help your team. Also, how many bullets your teammate has if he's low, what utility they have up, and how long it's going to be for them to get their next piece of utility. Because sometimes in clutch situations, your teammate doesn't see that kind of stuff, and letting them know can be very beneficial. You should also let your team know what utility you've seen the enemy use. So let's say Phoenix has used both flashes on you. Then you can let your team know that Phoenix doesn't have any flashes. And this can be done for any other agent and their utility. You can also let them know if you hear someone's footsteps because they might have missed that as well. But only do that if you're 100% sure you know where they are or you heard them, because that could be the difference maker in your teammate winning and losing the round. Other than that, do not talk when you were dead, because backseat gaming is the most annoying thing ever, and most of the time it leads your teammate to double think things and inevitably lose a round they probably could have won. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you got any value out of this video or you want to see videos like this in the future, feel free to hit that like button, sub to the channel, and ring that bell notification so that you can stay ahead of every other gamer and unlock your full potential. Much love guys, hopefully I'll see you in the next one.